Welcome to week 9 of On Top the Cage. We've officially reached the halfway point of the National Football League season. Dan and I are back. We thought we were going to have Mark here. Mark the mechanic, the much maybe anticipated, I'm not sure, maybe that strong return of Mark the mechanic. He's a very reliable mechanic.
Yeah, he's a reliable mechanic, and then he starts drinking and then firing off texts.
Not as much as reliability as a guest host.
No.
So, anyway, maybe he'll show up sometime. We got another 8 weeks or so of this, plus the playoffs and all that good stuff. We got plenty of time left.
Thanksgiving show.
Thanksgiving
He'll
show.
up.
Yeah?
Yeah, just because of the day we tape it.
Tuesday before?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because of Wednesday. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, maybe that happens. We'll see. You see an obvious set change out here.
Yeah, it's like we walked into a freaking Hallmark movie.
Christmas trees up. Christmas decorations are up in the Flying Turtle Lounge.
Shit.
Hey, we turned to page November. Christmas goes up. I'm an early up. I'm a holiday guy.
Yeah. Well, you're skipping one.
My family thinks I'm Grinchy, but I don't think that's true. I think that's a false narrative. I don't know. So, anyway, we are off another quote-unquote holiday, I guess, and trick-or-treat or Halloween, right?
Yep.
How was your trick-or-treat?
It was good. I think there were more kids that don't live in my neighborhood at my house getting candy than kids that actually live there.
Happens all the time. Trick-or-treat was 6 to 8. I was correct about that last week.
Yes, you were.
We had 150-some full-size candy bars. We had to turn the light off at 7:15 because of the showing. You know, how many people came through.
Dude, wait. Were you on the front porch?
We were.
Why wouldn't you be right here?
Dogs. Well, the dogs were inside. The dogs were going ape shit. I mean, like crazy. They were not happy about their situation inside at all. They're banging on the windows. I mean, they were not happy at all about being confined inside. I could have set up, a system down there at the bottom of the driveway. We have this electric fence that allows the dogs to go so much on the property, and we probably could have done it. We didn't. Kate, well, here's the thing. I told you in an earlier show, and I've told Dan plenty of times about our wild amounts of Halloween decorations that we have inside, and then they all put out outside for trick or treat. Like the fucking werewolf was out there. Werewolf who makes all kinds of weird noises. Mr. Dark, who's that thing that lunges at you and goes like 10 feet up in the air.
Yeah.
There was something called rosemary. Do you know what rosemary is?
Seasoning.
Right.
Herb.
I don't know. It's like this female-looking ghost. It must be from one of the movies. I don't know. I mean, I know Freddy.
I've never been a horror flick person.
Me neither. I know Freddy's last name even. Freddy Krueger.
Laugh. I don't want to poop my pants because something scared me.
The guy from Friday the 13th, Jason, right?
Friday the 13th. Yeah, that's
Jason.
Jason.
Right? That shit wasn't Cujo's fault. I know Cujo. It wasn't his fault he got fucking bit on the schnoz, man.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if that's a horror movie or not.
Cujo, that would be a horror movie, but that's just poor dog ownership.
I guess. I don't know. It's not his fault, man. He gets a bad rap, I think. So, but meanwhile, like, we had so much stuff out there. I told you those things, and then there was this other guy who's like slumped over, and then Katie has all these triggers. She has the remotes for all these things, and the thing jumps up like this. I mean, we're scaring the shit out of people as they're coming up the walkway. People are taking photos. There's a fog machine out there. Like, hey, photo opportunity. Yeah, it was quite the scene.
You could set all that up right here so you could still watch football.
It was all
What are you
along.
doing?
I don't like people walking on the lawn. Plus, there's a lot of dog poop in the lawn. That's a bad idea for them as well. But they would walk along the pathway, and it was all set up, different places on the pathway.
Oh,
dude,
it was like a tractor beam. You're sucking them in to get the candy, but your main goal was to scare the shit out of them.
I guess.
Like it.
Katie, my wife, sweetest person in the world, I suppose. But meanwhile, an asshole when it comes to this stuff. Like, we're scaring the shit out of it. Like, infants are fucking crying.
Oh, nice.
But meanwhile,
You're that house.
but meanwhile, Katie and I are talking. Like, we're just sitting there with the buckets of candy.
Were you
on the
guys
thing.
dressed up?
No.
Oh, come on.
No, were you?
No.
Oh,
But, I mean, you got that whole setup, the walk of death coming up to get the candy. You could have been like Lurch, and she could have been Morticia or something.
There's a lot of people who like to make me lurch. I don't like that. Or
Well,
Frankenstein.
just 'cause of the height.
I don't know. That's bullshit.
Would you be fine if
Getting
I said
labeled.
Papa Smurf?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I'd go for that either. But anyway, we're talking on this thing. Kay are talking on the front stoop there, whatever. And there's so many people that walk in with like, or walk by with like infants, and they're fucking crying like 4-month-old babies, and we're
Just
both
to get a piece of candy?
right. We're
Yeah,
like,
that's
who the hell's eating this candy? This kid, this
Right.
infant can't eat the candy anyway. Babe, got any of the homemade popcorn balls? You got any circus peanuts?
Yeah. Where's the apples?
Right, yeah, the rotten apples for these people, man. That's bullshit. Dude, my grandpa used to have butterscotch disc and circus peanuts, like all the time on his table. But dude, have you ever had a circus peanut?
What, they're just
Those orange
dry?
fucking things that look like oversized peanuts and they're flat. What is
No,
that?
never had that.
You've
I
never
don't know
had
what the
one?
hell you're talking
I
about.
had one. I don't know.
When I
if
go to
they're-
Haggie's Nuts, circus peanuts is not on
It's
the
not a
menu.
fucking peanut. It's like an orange hard marshmallow looking thing.
No, I don't know what the hell that
I
is.
ate one. I'm like, I don't know if it's stale, if it's bad. I don't
We're
know
gonna
what
have
it
to
is.
find it so we can have it on the show now.
Dude, fine. So they're big
Circus
orange.
peanuts.
Yes,
I wanna
they're
find
big
it.
orange, like nasty things.
I'll find it.
They're old people candy, is what. It
I'll
is.
find it. I know the butterscotch disc. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
those
Oh,
just
yeah.
rocks. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
What the
yeah.
hell?
They're not that hard. But anyway, yeah, that was our, trick or treat. It was good. Like I said, there was a huge turnout. The weather was fantastic. Let's do beer review, and then I'm going to talk some more stuff. I was going to say this beer. It's from my favorite brewing company, Arche. It's called Omega Oaf. I don't know really what Omega Oaf means, but to me, in my mind, it meant like if Dan and I really fuck up and have really, really bad records, we'll play. But I don't anticipate that happening. I'm going to think positive.
Ooh, it's a sour.
Yes, it's a treat for Dan. So
Nice.
I think it's the only sour that Arche makes. It is a sour New England IPA.
Yeah.
It's easy though.
16.25.
Wait, 6.25.
Did I say
16 ounces.
16?
You did.
Yeah, 16
That would be a
ounces,
lot.
yeah.
Oh, I
A
forgot.
pounder.
I forgot my glass.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
You're going to have to fire the person that sets up the set.
that would be myself. It's a one-man show
You're
here. And I
terminated.
apologize for leaving this, but I know my brother-in-law Teddy likes to see what it looks like. So I hope it's good.
Smells like an IPA.
I mean, outside of Dan's traditional Bud Lights, he likes sour beers. Tell me it's good, Dan. I hope it's good for you.
Oh, it's good, and it is sour. Ooh,
Yeah. Oh,
look
yeah?
at that pucker. Yeah, it's good.
I figured you would like it. They're a great brewery. I don't think they make any other sour beers. I don't. I really don't. Oh, I might have mispoured.
I do like a sour. It just changes it up a little. Gives you a different flavor in your mouth.
That's a lot.
It makes you pucker.
You like it. Dan
Yeah,
likes it.
That's good.
They're a great brewery. And yeah,
Not as good as a Pink Martian, but it's good.
really. You think the platform
Pink
sours
Martian.
are better?
I like that beer a lot.
Yeah.
I have it on tap.
What's our number?
That's 4.5.
4.5. I agree. 4.5. I agree. We're gonna be on
That's
the Christmas
good.
beers soon. I think. I don't know. Thanksgiving beers. I don't know. I saw one from my brewery company. Man, the can presentation's awesome, but I don't know. It sounds fucking horrible. Some mashed potato, something imperial stout thing.
A potato
Sweet
beer.
potato.
Sweet potato.
I don't know. Like
That-
craziness.
That's
so.
good. I do like that.
No shots on the table, which is probably a good thing. Maybe the Hennessy got to me last week. High school football, right?
Yeah.
Dan, we're in the middle of the playoffs. Our local team, Green, bowed out. They lost to the team they were playing. But Dan's alma mater, St. V. St. Mary, it keeps on going on, right? They blew out the team they played.
Yeah, destroyed them. And now that I'm on TV, I can't think of who we're playing now. Austintown Fitch. We got to travel to Austintown Fitch.
In the Youngstown area for those.
Youngstown. Yeah, good team. They're, I think they might have one loss, maybe. We'll see. I don't know. That whole years ago, the Steel Valley Conference used to be one of the baddest conferences in the state of Ohio. That's changed since then.
Not as good.
So we'll see. No. All the Catholics in the Region 1 Catholic school.
Really?
Yeah. Walsh, Hoban.
Clean sweep by the Catholics.
Yep.
I tell you what, Dan loves that stuff. I'm not as big of a high school football fan. I traditionally rewatch the podcast because I got to write down the picks.
How about the neighboring community just south of us, Jackson? Squeaked into the playoffs. Had a good game against, I think it was Olmsted Falls. One of my buddies, his kid's a freshman, starting quarterback.
For which team? Jackson or
Jackson.
Jackson, okay.
They got to play St. Ed's next.
Oof. St. Ed's is a powerhouse, probably the favorite to win their division.
Division
certainly.
III college team playing high school football.
Oof, that's a lot. Yeah, I had to rewatch the podcast. I traditionally rewatch it. I did. It was a time commitment. Like, literally, the show was an hour and 24 minutes last week. I apologize. Like I said, maybe the Hennessy got to us, the heavy beers.
Probably.
I cringed a few times. I was cussing my face off. I'm like, oh, man. Like, it was a lot. So, but I got a big weekend coming up this weekend, too. My buddy Shane from Tampa's in town.
Who loves soccer.
Loves soccer. Shane's in town. He's come up to see me. He's going to stay. He's coming in Friday morning. And I think leaving Monday morning. My other buddy, our mutual buddy Sam, is also coming. He's from Florida as well. He's from the Jacksonville area. He's coming up to see his parents, and I'm sure he'll be here at some point in time. So we got a big weekend. I don't do a whole lot though. We'll see with Shane. I mean, I told Shane when he's coming up, I'm like, look, dude, you know how it is. We could get 35 degrees. We could get 70 degrees.
We're supposed to get 70, baby.
We're getting 70. I
got my shorts on now.
He got the good end of the stick for sure in regards to the temperatures. Yeah, like literally, I looked at the forecast for Saturday. It says 74 is a high and sunny.
Yeah.
Like, does not happen for early November here, so that's pretty amazing.
Well, and all of a sudden it'll be 4 and snowing like hell.
Right, 100%.
Which reminds me, I got to go get a new snow shovel. I broke mine last year. We probably talked about it.
You
I
get
had
to push
to buy
it.
that freaking grain shovel.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that story. You got to get that snow pusher. Like, they're amazing, but you can't let too much accumulate. You got to stay on top of it.
Got to
So
blade.
that's for another show, I suppose, when we start getting accumulation here, which probably isn't too far along. Your team played on what, Monday night? Good showing for your Browns.
Played. They were kicking ass Monday night.
I tell you what, our two football teams, the Chicago Bears and the Cleveland Browns, we should make a petition to move all their games to Monday night.
Yeah.
The Bears played awesome 2 Monday nights ago in Foxborough, New England, and Dan's Browns team performed very well. Did you have your kids at home? Did you make something? What happened there?
Now, no, Tyler was at school. I'm sure he watched. Delaney was at home. She did not partake in what I made because since it was Halloween, on Halloween I always make my Halloween stuffed peppers.
What are Halloween stuffed peppers?
I get the orange peppers, cut them out, make faces on them like a pumpkin, and I stuff them with meat and Zatarain's dirty rice.
Okay, Zatarain's is a brand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dirty rice.
Meat,
Mix it
dirty
up.
rice. What else? Anything else? Like some cheese up in that motherfucker? Anything?
Oh, there's cheese on there, and then
Alright.
tomato sauce, so you got blood and the face.
Oh, I
then
see.
A side of mashed potatoes. Come on.
Some gory looking thing.
Yeah,
All right.
that's what we made. But I got to tell you a story. Monday night, it's trash night in our neighborhood.
Okay.
And it was raining because you had texted me that it was pouring down rain when you were grilling.
I just started to grill and started pouring here.
What were you grilling? I didn't even
Just
ask.
burgers and dogs.
So it wasn't pouring at our house, but it had rained. I mean, it was doing that annoying sprinkling bullshit,
Sure.
you know? So the ground was wet. Well, it's trash night, and I was bringing the cans out from the back through the garage.
It's a pain in the ass. There's
Had
a
my
lip.
tennis shoes on, wet, pulling the can, and
You went down?
oh, I went all the way down.
Wait, you fall on your back?
Oh, I was holding the trash can, dragging it behind me, fell, my elbow caught on the trash can, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm going to land on this elbow, and it's going to shatter because I'm on the concrete. But my left knee hit the ground first. And I just laid there for like 30 seconds going, I think I'm all right.
How many beers did you have before
I,
this?
maybe
This-
one. I mean,
Oh,
this is
come
still
on.
early. I'm trying to get my shit done before, I made the food and I hadn't really started drinking. Man, maybe I had 3.
What? How many cuss words did you say?
I didn't say anything because
Nuh-uh.
I had to save my breath because I thought I was going to have to start screaming for my wife because I was going to be laying on the floor with a garbage can on top of
You
me.
need one of those
fucked
bracelets.
up.
You need one of
Oh,
those
my
medic
God.
bracelets.
Uh,
Dan's got a birthday coming up here in the winter. We'll get him a medic bracelet.
I thought, oh my, I stood and watched the game because I was like, man, my knee's going to hurt. Well, Tuesday, my hip to my knee, and I think I stretched everything in between there.
Was
No
sore?
knee, no knee damage, but it's just all the muscles that got,
Back's
sore.
fine?
Back was a little sore. I'm good now, though.
He's good. He's good. Oh my God.
I think Monday night I drank enough beer to lube up everything, and I was good. But man, I thought for sure I was pissed. I was laying on the ground.
I don't blame it. Monday is traditionally a night off for me. It was not the previous Monday because of the Dave show and me watching the Bears super late. And it didn't happen to be this week either. I didn't mean to, but I always have a beer when I'm grilling.
You got sucked in because the Browns were beating ass.
I bought a 4-pack of Slay All Day, which was one of Dan and I's favorite Christmas beers from last year. We won't review it this year. We try to do new stuff every week.
That's a 5, if anybody's wondering. That's a 5.
Dan and I both love it. Dan, I think a little bit more than myself, but...
Masthead Brewing.
Yeah, 8.5%. I started one when I grilled, and I drank the other 3 during the whole game. I didn't go to bed until the game was over. It was rough. I was running on fumes on Tuesday. I went to bed super early. I don't know why I'm even talking about this. Nobody probably cares about that. So, by the way, though, hey, that candle, that Browns candle I got you, did you light it?
It was on, baby.
Nice.
Yeah, it was on.
That's awesome. You're a winner there, so... I don't know. A crazy week in the National Football League. Oh, we got to do results. I didn't do the results yet. Dan, last week went 8-7. He is now 60-61-2 on the year. Just one game under 500. I went 7-8. Obviously couldn't. That's why shots aren't on the table.
Just one game under 500.
Just one game under 500 for Dan. I'm 3+. I'm 60.
For you for last week.
Oh. I'm 62-59-2. I'm 3+ on the season. Other good news, we both hit our elephant picks. Dan's on a streak. That's 2 weeks in a row after going 0-6. He is now 2-6 with the Cleveland Browns. I thought it was a crazy pick for an elephant pick or our best bet pick. I am now 6-2 on the year. I'm super proud of that record. It was the Miami Dolphins. Last week in Detroit, they didn't start off so well, but they finished strong and they covered the number. That's last week's results. What a crazy week in the National Football League. We told you the trading deadline happened just yesterday. Finalized record amounts of trades. It's the most ever in the National Football League. We'll talk about it. My team was sellers and then buyers and things like that. We'll probably talk about it as we get to the teams. But I think we're on a Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, what a stellar game this is going to be.
It is on Thursday night. The Philadelphia Eagles travel to Houston. The 7-0 Philadelphia Eagles are 13.5-point favorites. The over-under is 44. Houston checks into the game at 1-5-1. Philadelphia comes off their win in the Battle of Pennsylvania against Pittsburgh. They absolutely destroyed them. They had control of the game from the gate. They are coming for the 72 Dolphins. They have a perfect record, and their schedule's not that difficult going forward. I think it might scare those people down in Miami, but we'll see. I mean, they're a really good football team. They're all in. They made some moves at the trade deadline to bolster their team, certainly. The offense is humming. They're a good football team on both sides. I mean, they look like the best team in the NFC for sure. Houston. There's not a whole lot to talk about them. They came off of their loss against Tennessee. Tennessee didn't even have their starting quarterback, Ryan Tannehill. They played Malik Willis. They weren't going to throw the ball. I mean, Houston knew that Derrick Henry was running the ball, and they still couldn't freaking stop him. They couldn't stop him. They barely threw the ball. Tennessee did against Houston. They couldn't stop him. Davis Mills is not the answer. They just lack talent. They are debuting red helmets for the first time on Thursday night, which I guess is kind of cool. I mean, a huge number, Dan, in the National Football League, 13.5.
It is a huge number, but one of the only weapons they got on Houston.
Dameon Pierce.
Now, Cook.
Brandon Cooks.
Didn't practice twice. Wanted to be traded. He's salty.
He's disgruntled.
Probably not going to play. So they're a mess. Houston's a mess. They should be relegated. Drop them down to JV. 13 is a big number, but man, I gotta take the Eagles on this one against Houston.
I'm riding with Dan. I mean, I just haven't seen enough. It's 13.5 actually. Eagles have to win by full 2 touchdowns. I think they're going to do it. I think eventually they win this game by 20-some points. They're that good. I hope we're not the backdoor score from Houston when maybe they have backup players in, things like that. But, I mean, Houston hasn't shown me enough. Dan and I are both on the Philadelphia Eagles. Minus a big number, 13.5. There's no game overseas this week. I think it does return next week in Munich, actually. But no London game, no nothing like that. We're on to the Sunday early slate, if you will, that starts 1 p.m. Eastern time for us here. Kind of a fun game, a intriguing game, I guess. The Los Angeles Chargers traveled all the way across the country to play the Atlanta Falcons. I should say the first place Atlanta Falcons in that wild division. Chargers are 4-3. Atlanta's 4-4. The Chargers are 3-point favorites in this game. The over/under is a pretty big number at 49.5. Like I said, Chargers come off bye.
I missed something. Can you say it again?
Alexa's talking to me. I'm not exactly sure why. But the Chargers, I mean, they were so good offensively last year. And
Dude, they cannot run the ball.
they
There's
can't.
no
They
running
can
threat
pass
there.
still.
They can pass, but still, if you get to the quarterback, they're
It's-
not that good.
It's funny that you say that because, and here's the Chargers. The Chargers, I don't know how this game's going to play out because the Chargers on defense cannot stop the run. And that's what Atlanta does. But Atlanta on defense can't stop the pass. And that's what the Chargers do. So I don't know who's going to come out of this game. I mean, like I said, Chargers came out by. Atlanta came off a win at home against Carolina that they did not deserve to win the game. They gave up a late touchdown. The Carolina field goal kicker missed the extra point. DJ Moore took his helmet off and made
Oh,
the extra
my
point
God.
40 yards instead of whatever it was.
What an idiot.
He missed that. Then they have a chip shot field goal in overtime. He misses again. Atlanta finds a way to
He
win the
missed
game.
it on purpose just to amplify what that idiot did.
Oh my goodness!
earlier.
Like a horrible loss for Carolina. If you're a Carolina fan watching that thing, Chargers -3 in Atlanta. What's going to happen here, Dan?
Chick-fil-A's closed. I'm going with the Chargers.
I like the Chargers too. I do. I think they're a better football team. It is a long travel week for them. They're off bye, so they have plenty of rest. I don't know. I think Atlanta may get Cordero Patterson back this week, which certainly will bolster even that run game. I mean, that run game is strong between, and I mentioned Mariota because he runs the ball a lot. Pitts caught a touchdown last week, which is good. They don't throw the ball.
Yeah,
I know.
And that's, I mean, they just traded Ridley, too.
They did. I mean, obviously he had a full year suspension for gambling, but I don't want to really get into that. But I don't.
Full year suspension, and then it was
That's
out for
bullshit. I
personal
mean, with
reasons,
all the
too.
average,
Oh, you can't gamble. That's not bullshit. You can't even debate that.
it was
That's
on his own
bullshit.
home team, and he had it like in his
No,
back
no,
pocket.
no. You can't do that. You
Ah,
can't.
I know.
no,
But meanwhile, the National Football League is pushing gambling like crazy. They're
Well, that's
pushing
fine,
FanDuel. They're
but
pushing
you can't-
DraftKings.
you
They're pushing
can't-
their partners.
They're pushing it, fine. But if you're involved in it, you can't do it.
I agree with Dan.
Bet
I mean,
on something else.
I could. You know the rules, and
Right.
I mean,
it's not. Yeah.
are those guys even allowed to play fantasy football?
No.
They're not allowed to play fantasy
No.
football. I mean, it's
And
not
they're all
necessarily for money.
educated. Every team spends time educating those guys on what you can do and what you can't do as far as betting. And he's just dumb. I mean, it's dumb.
Seems hefty suspension, but anyway, I'm not
Well,
going to talk
hey.
about it anymore. He's a Jacksonville Jaguar now, and they were active as well at the deadline. Next game on the board, it is the house divided game for me personally. Here it is the
Wow.
in-laws team, the Miami Dolphins, traveling to Soldier Field to play the Chicago
It's a
Football
1
Bears.
o'clock game.
It is a 1 o'clock game. I'll be ready out here, raring to go with my buddy Shane, I'm sure. He obviously is a Bears fan as well, so we're looking forward to that. If any of my brother-in-laws want to come up, enjoy it. We'll put some people in headlocks. I don't know. Anyway, the Dolphins are 5-3. The Bears have the opposite record of 3-5. Miami's a 5-point favorite in Soldier Field. The over/under in this game is 44. Let's talk about Miami. Slow start in Motor City against Detroit. And that team, talk about the trade deadline, they're going for it. I mean, they're going for it. They went for it this year, like just flat out. I mean, at the start of the football season, the Miami Dolphins had 3 first-round picks. Now they have 0. One of them went to Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
The other one went to Bradley
Bradley
Chubb,
Chubb.
who is a stud pass rusher from Denver. They got at the trade deadline just yesterday. The other one got pissed away by their idiotic owner, Stephen Ross, who's a meddler.
Yes.
So
Tamperer.
they are 100% all in. I think this team's legit. I think the in-laws team is legit. I mean, I would like to see that defense play better. If they could play the level if they played it last year, maybe Chubb helps that. But the offense is super good under Mike McDaniel. He's infused life into Tua. Tagovailoa looks fantastic as a quarterback. And
I agree.
here's the thing about the Miami team. They have so many home run hitters. I mean, let's start with Tyreek Hill, but Jalen Waddle's a home run hitter. Raheem Mostert is a home run hitter. He's a 4-3 guy. They added Jeff Wilson to the backfield at the trade deadline as well.
Another San Francisco guy.
Yeah.
They got
Well, Mike
two-
McDaniel's familiar
yeah.
with him.
I mean,
So, the Bears. Let's talk about the Bears for a bit. They come off of their loss in Dallas. The defense got worse this week. It was really bad last week. They gave up touchdowns on the first 4 possessions that Dallas had. They traded their best, probably defensive player, Roquan Smith, at the deadline in regards to draft capital. But then they were buyers with Chase Claypool, wide receiver for Fields, and I 100% agree with it. And here's I mean, I'm talking about the bad for Chicago Bears. The good news is, and I saw it with my 2 eyes, Justin Fields has turned the corner as a National Football League quarterback. I can't wait to watch him play this Sunday. He played really well in Foxborough 2 Monday nights ago. And then he backed it up last week in Dallas. The ball's coming out quicker. He's reading defenses better. He's obviously an elite athlete. He throws a good deep ball. And I think the Chicago brass saw it too. And they're like, we got to get somebody for this guy. Additionally, to even make him better and build more confidence in him. That's the good news for the Chicago Bears. And they have tons of draft capital. And they have tons of cap space next year to take a swing at this thing.
I mean, it's good news, yeah, that he's playing better. You got him another weapon in Claypool, which I'm totally happy about that he's out of the Steelers and over there because he's a Notre Dame kid. So I can root for him again. But does this put more pressure on him so he's going to try and create more because the defense is going to blow? The Chicago defense is, I mean, you took in the defensive end that went, Quinn?
He hadn't done a whole lot.
He hadn't done a lot, but he was a presence.
Yes. Roquan's by far the best defensive player they have.
Totally.
He's an off-the-ball linebacker.
I'm pissed he went to the Ratbirds.
I know he's off the ball, but he's a great player. He's a tackling machine. I mean, he leads the National Football League in tackles. I love Claypool. I want to talk about Claypool now. We're going to talk a long time about this game. I've always liked Claypool. It's not because he's from Notre Dame. It's his edge. I mean, first of all, the guy's huge. He's 6'4". He runs a sub 4.4. I mean, he's a stud athlete. Stay
off social media and I'll like you a little bit more.
Right. He's got to keep his emotions in check, but he's as close to Deebo Samuel in the league that there is, if you ask me. And maybe
I don't know.
Maybe it's not that close. I mean, he plays with so much edge. I mean, he's a physical dude. He's not going to run out of bounds. He's going to run the fuck over you.
Yeah.
I mean, I love his edge. I love that the Bears spent capital on this. The free agency market for wide receivers next year is really bad. They all signed big deals in the offseason. So I love this for the Bears. We got to get to the line. Who do you like in this game? Miami -5?
I got to go with Miami just because your defense.
I agree. I'm going to take the Dolphins -5 as well in this game. The Bear defense, Dan and I talked about it quite a bit already. It's the home run hitters. I don't see how the Bears are going to stop Hill and Waddle and all the weapons that they have. I mean, that offense is really, really humming under Mike McDaniel with in Miami. I like them -5 to beat the Bears by a touchdown or maybe 10 points or so. Next game on the board, the Carolina Panthers travel to play the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati is -8 in this game. The over-under is 43.5. Carolina, we mentioned them earlier. They're 2-6 on the season. They come off a loss in Atlanta that they certainly should have won. Baker Mayfield's healthy. He's not playing. The kid from the XFL, PJ Walker, continues to be the starting quarterback.
Let him play, man. I like him.
They played a lot better since the firing of Matt Rule. I don't know what that says about Matt Rule, but
playing better and the quarterback's playing. I mean, hey, look out.
Here's the thing, Carolina, if they don't piss away that game in Atlanta, blow that game. I mean,
they're number one.
They're in first place. And they may be the worst team in the fucking National Football League and be first place in that division. That's nuts. We also talked a little bit about Cincinnati already. They come off that Monday night loss in Cleveland. They got beat from gate to gate in that game. I mean,
the pressure was on Joe Burrow from the start. They abandoned the run, didn't help him out at all. I mean, dude can't just stand back there and chuck the ball all over the field. You got to run the ball, play action. Come on.
Mixon's a good back. They clearly missed.
I don't know why. Their rushing yards, I think they had like 48 yards rushing.
Yeah, I mean, they abandoned it.
that's
You're right.
insane.
I watched the game as well. They're certainly missing Jamar Chase and his explosive element for sure. Um, they're 8-point favorites in the lead. I'll take the lead. I still believe in this team. I mean, they're the AFC representative. I'm going to lay all the points. I'm going to lay the 8 points with Cincinnati against Carolina.
I'm not. I'm going with Carolina. Cincinnati wins, but it ain't going to be by 8.
First game of Dan and I are in disagreement. I think the first 3 that we agreed on. Dan likes the Panthers getting the points. Probably not to come out with a win out of the Queen City, but he likes the points. Next game on the board, an NFC North Division game. The Green Bay Packers travel to play Detroit. Green Bay 3.5-point favorite in this game. The over/under is 49. That's a pretty big football number for a total. Green Bay is 3-5 on the season. Detroit Lions are 1-6. Green Bay comes off their loss on Sunday night or Monday night, Sunday night in Buffalo. I lost that game. The line was 10.5. They ended up only losing by 10. They should have lost by a lot more, if you ask me.
They should have.
The defense or the offense for Green Bay looked a little bit better. It looked a little bit better.
A little bit better. Aaron Rodgers practiced today. I heard that.
I mean, I'm not going to talk about the Green Bay defense against Buffalo because Buffalo's a juggernaut offense. I mean, and
They
they're
are, but they still don't run the ball. I mean, if you take Josh Allen out, they don't have a running game.
they're trying to figure out the running game. They added Naheem Hines.
Well, I don't know if it's the offensive line or if it's the running back. Because Singletary looks, he's a little
They came
small.
out early and he got a few chunk runs and then
Yeah,
they
but
didn't nothing. They kind of petered out in
Right.
regards to the offensive running of the ball. They had Himes. He's a really good back, catching passes out of the backfield. I don't know if that'll add an element to them or not. I mean, they're a really good football team, Buffalo, but they're not on the board. Detroit. I mean, we talked about them earlier. They had an early lead against the Miami Dolphins. They could score the ball. Their defense is just atrocious. I mean, just atrocious.
they just got rid of their tight end, too.
They did. I mean, they can't stop
In
anyone.
division.
Yeah. I mean, that was a shocking trade. Dan's talking about T.J. Hawkinson getting traded in division from the Detroit Lions to the Minnesota Vikings. I don't know if Dan Campbell's going to survive this thing.
I don't
mean,
either. I mean,
They're going to draft really high. They're going to draft a quarterback. They still have Jamison Williams, that awesome receiver out of Alabama who got drafted still really high, even though he wasn't going to play for a good chunk of the year. I mean, that's how much people think of him. They're going to add him next year. They had a quarterback, and if they hit on the quarterback, the Lions are going to be good soon. But it's not this year. Green Bay minus 3.5 in this game, Dan.
I got to go with Green Bay in this. I mean, they've been abused here, and Aaron's probably getting pissed, smoked some weed or something, and they're going to play. They're going to beat Campbell.
Weed,
He's not going to
hallucinogens.
lose a division game.
Taking the Lions. I like the
Are you
hook in the
really?
game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's back and forth. I mean, Green Bay still hasn't shown me anything. I mean, they had a couple of plays.
They haven't. I mean, this is
They haven't shown me
game.
anything. They haven't shown me anything. I mean, I tell you what, the Bears are 3-5, and Green Bay's 3-5, and Detroit's 1-6. Minnesota's 6-1. They have a 4-game lead in that division. They are going to win the division, like I said in the season prediction show. Dan's on the Packers. I'm on the Detroit Lions. Next game on the board, the Vegas Raiders travel to Jacksonville. Cross country. Vegas minus 2 in this game, over under 47.5. Vegas, they come off they're 2-5. They come off their shutout loss in New Orleans. They didn't score a fucking point.
how do you Devontae Adams and
They were
Derek
lifeless.
Carr, I'm
Maybe
speechless.
McDaniels is a shitty coach.
I don't know. If you're that good of buddies and played in college, it turns into a little backyard football too. Make something happen.
I mean, it's hard to get shut out in the National Football League. I mean, it's an offensive league.
To New Orleans.
To New Orleans. I mean, their defense was great last year. It has not been good through the first half of this season. I mean, that was a good performance, and we'll see if they can stack 2 in a row. They come on the board much later. I want to say to the Monday Night Football game. Jacksonville, they come off of their loss in London against Denver, where they had the lead. They can't close games.
Yeah.
I mean, Trevor Lawrence threw another red zone pick. I mean, doesn't look like he's progressing. I mean, Fields looks like he's progressing the most out of that quarterback class. It looks shitty right now. Between Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, and Justin Fields, I mean, that quarterback class does not look good. Maybe, and I'm homering a little bit outside of Justin Fields, who looks like he's turned the corner. I don't know. I mean, he's got to play better. I mean, Vegas -2 in this game in Jacksonville.
I got to go with the home team in this one. And that's the only reason I'm taking them, because of the home team.
I've been on Jacks a lot. I'm going to continue to stay with them. I'm not going to sway. They're a good football team. At some point in time, and they have lead. I swear to God, I think they've had a lead in every football game they played this year, and they're 2-6 on the season. I don't know. I mean, Lawrence has to play better down the stretch. Can't make mistakes in the red zone. I like them. I like the talent on the team. And I'm not sure what to think of Vegas right now after getting shut out in New Orleans. I'm not willing to take that risk. I'm going to take the home team in Jacksonville as well. Next game on the board, the Indianapolis Colts travel to Foxborough to play the New England Patriots. Patriots are 5-point favorites in this game. Over-under is a 39.5, which is a low number. Indianapolis, they are...
They're a mess.
3-4-1 on the season.
Holy shit.
They're 3-4-1 on the season. They come off their loss.
They trade their backup running back, and now today Jonathan Taylor didn't practice.
He's ouchie.
Re-aggravated his. They're a mess.
They had the game against Washington. They gave up a
Playing the
last-second
sixth-round
touchdown.
quarterback.
Last-second touchdown to Washington and lose the game. New England, they come off of their win against the Jets. I mean, they're a boring fucking football team.
They are.
They're a well-coached, boring football team. Mac Jones continues to be the quarterback. We'll see. It seems like that Zappy kid gives him more life. I don't know if Belichick's willing to relent and go that way or not. They're -5 in this game. What do you think?
New England.
Me too. They play good defense. I mean,
It is a mess.
they have Belichick.
Just got rid of the offensive coordinator too.
They did. And Indianapolis has a rookie quarterback. I mean, and Belichick is the coach on the opposite side.
Yeah, that dude gonna get it.
New England -5. Dan and I both like it. Next game on the board, in division game, Buffalo.
I'll talk about this one. I gotta pee.
Buffalo and the Jets. Buffalo 6-1. The Jets are 5-3 on the year. Two really good records. Buffalo's a huge favorite in this game. 12.5-point favorites in this game. Over-under is 47. We talked about the Buffalo game a little bit already. They come off their home win against Green Bay. They're a super good football team. I don't think Josh Allen played his best game against Green Bay. I think he missed a couple of chances. They're still just a really, really good football team on both sides of the ball. The Jets, they're missing Breece Hall tremendously. They've had a great start to the season. The fact that they don't have Breece Hall, I know they they traded for the kid out of Jacksonville. Was it James Robinson, I think is his name. Michael Carr is there, but they're missing that element. Breece Hall was off to a great start. Zach Wilson has not played well. Like, he's made some bad mistakes and bad reads and things like that. Buffalo -12.5 in this game, Dan. You got a pick? Can you hear me?
Buffalo.
I'm going to lay it 2. I think Josh Allen is a chippy dude. I think he knows he didn't play that well on national television. I think he lights up the Jets. I really do.
The team from the other side of New York.
Giants?
No. The New York State.
Oh, Buffalo. Oh, Buffalo. Yes. From Western.
Yeah, everybody.
Western New York.
Everybody in New York City's, they're happy as hell because the Jets and Giants are winning games, but Buffalo's going to smack the shit out of these.
Kind of the
guys.
Battle of New York, although I feel like the Jets and the Giants play in New Jersey, if I'm not mistaken. Do they?
Yeah,
Is that right?
yeah, it's in Jersey. Yeah.
But anyway, they're New York teams. They're all New York teams. I forgot about that aspect of it.
Yeah.
We're both on the Bills -12.5.
I'm on the Bills, definitely. They're going to kick the shit out of these guys.
My reasoning is I think Josh Allen knows he didn't play very well, and I think he's going to back it up because I think he may be the best quarterback in the National Football League. Next game on the board, kind of an intriguing game, I guess. Teams on winning streaks. Washington Redskins let me introduce this game. I'm sorry. Minnesota goes to Washington, the nation's capital. Minnesota's a 3.5-point favorite in this game. The over-under is 43. Minnesota's 6-1 on the season. The Washington Commanders, Redskins, are 4-4
We're
on the
about
season.
to be sold because their owner is in Schitt's Creek.
Dan Snyder, he's a mess. Yeah, that's a mess. That's a mess. I don't think it's going to affect the team. I think they've known this for a while. I mean, I don't think he has any influence on what's going on over there.
Some federal judge or prosecutor's looking into him now, and that came out after, hey, we just hired this firm to sell the team.
Yeah, Bank of America or something like that. Yeah,
There's some shit going on.
There's a lot of money at stake there. Minnesota's won 5 games in a row.
Wait a minute. If we put our checkbooks together, do you think we can get them?
No.
Damn it.
I mean, you're talking about approaching $1 billion, probably.
Probably like 5.
Not billion.
Yeah.
I bet.
One?
What?
1 billion?
Yeah. I mean, it's probably 800 million to $1 billion franchise would be my guess. I'm not positive. I mean, the numbers are wacky. That's a lot. I mean, it's a lot
Oh,
of
well,
fucking
if it's
money.
only that much, maybe
You
we
got
can
that?
do it.
Dan's gonna go solo. Shit.
Might have to call Dave, but
He's a Steelers fan. We're not calling him.
it doesn't matter. We'll be all Redskins fans.
I'll put on the pig nose. I'll be ready to go.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
100%. I mean, the traffic's horrible there in that belt, but I'll move there.
We'll move the team to somewhere where it's not.
Canton.
Canton.
The Canton Commanders. That has a nice
Yeah.
ring to it, right?
It's a freaking stadium right there, too.
Yeah. Well, we need more people. We need revenue, Daddy. We can't have that. We need a new stadium. Anyway, way off track here. Silliness, I guess. Minnesota, winners of 5 straight. Go to the nation's capital. Washington, winners of 3 straight. 2 teams
Wait,
on like
who's
significant winning streaks.
Washington beat, and it's been bullshit wins that they should have lost.
They beat Indy. Well,
They
started.
beat Indy,
It
okay.
started with the Bears on that Thursday night where they had no right to win.
You're correct.
No right to win. I have no idea what the sandwich game is. The middle game is. They beat Indianapolis last week.
3.5.
They beat. No, I know who it is. Remember Washington? They beat Green Bay last week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it was Chicago, Green Bay, and now, they're going for the NFC North. They're going for the sweep of the NFC North here with the Minnesota Vikings.
Not happening.
Minnesota minus 3.5 in this
Minnesota.
game. Yeah, I like Minnesota a
Cousins
lot.
played there.
That's right. I forgot about
He
that
knows the
aspect of
weather.
it.
He knows. Yeah.
Minnesota comes off their home win against Arizona. A little bit of a back and forth game. They finished it pretty strong. They're a good football team. I think
They're
they are a
good.
good football team. They
Yeah.
keep on winning really close games.
Hate
I
the
mean,
color purple, but they're good.
last year the Vikings were tough luck losers in a lot of last second games. Not this year. They've won a lot of one score games.
Yeah, that's the
They haven't
Browns
been
this year.
dominating in any of their games, but they've won the football games. Like I said, Washington Commanders, 3 straight wins. Taylor Heineke's the quarterback there. He's played well. Minnesota minus 3.5 in Washington, Dan.
Vikings.
Me too. They're a better football team. Justin Jefferson is an awesome receiver. Hasn't scored a touchdown since week 1. I like him to break out this week. They got to get him in the red zone there and hit him. I like Minnesota minus 3.5 in this game as well. Next game on the board, super intriguing game, division game, right? Seattle and Arizona. It is a division game. Seattle travels to Arizona, down the coast, if you will. Seattle's 5-3. Arizona's 3-5. Arizona's a 1.5 point favorite in this game. Over under a whopping 50.5. Seattle comes off their home win against the Giants, and I can't say enough about Geno Smith.
Dude's playing good. The whole team's playing good. I mean,
Dare I say Geno Smith is
Yeah,
in the
I mean,
MVP
he
conversation?
should be. He's been
I
playing
agree.
lights out.
I tell you what,
hey,
and Lockett dropped a perfect touchdown ball they threw in that game as well.
what about Jacoby Brissett?
What about him?
He's been playing lights out this year too.
Lights out?
Yeah, look at his offensive numbers. Jacoby Brissett.
That's the Cleveland Browns quarterback,
Yes. Geno Smith.
right? Journeyman
Left for
quarterback.
dead. Yeah, so's Jacoby Brissett. They both had good years.
I don't think Jacoby's played to the level that Geno has, but he certainly has done more than just manage that football team. He's played pretty well. And
The Browns have
I want to say Deshaun
missed
Watson's absence.
opportunities because he's played so well. Everybody else has betrayed him. Like my foot betrayed me walking in the garage.
I don't know. Maybe it had something to do with alcohol. I don't know.
There was not that much alcohol involved with that fall.
Seattle did win at home against the Giants. Like we said, Geno's playing really well. The defense has been better for Seattle. As far as Arizona goes, we just mentioned earlier, they lost in Minnesota. Here's the thing. Call of Duty came out, like the new Call of Duty.
Oh, was Kyler playing?
Kyler Murray. I don't know. Kyler, I
Not
don't
doing
know.
your homework, buddy.
I don't know, man. I don't know. This is a key division game. Is Arizona going to win this game at home, Dan? It's a short line. All they got to do is fucking win.
Yeah.
Basically, it's 1.5.
I'm taking Arizona in this one.
So am I. I am too. I'm not sure why. I think Seattle's played better. I like Kenneth Walker on that team. Arizona, D-Hop has infused a little bit of life into that team. I don't know when they're going to get T.J. Watt back or J.J. Watt back. Is J.J. Watt back? Is he playing?
I didn't know he was out.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe I'm confusing him. The fucking Watt brothers who don't have anything but initials for first names. I get confused sometimes. Maybe J.J.'s been playing the whole time. Anyway, we're both on the Arizona Cardinals
Yes,
-1.5.
sir.
All right, very good. One more 1 o'clock game, which is the Rams and Tampa
Wait,
Bay.
we're still on 1 o'clock games?
There's only. Oh no, I totally missed it on the board. I don't know. I didn't write the Sunday early, Sunday late. I didn't write it. Sunday Night Football. No, this is. There's only two.
Seattle and Arizona had to be the
Yep,
first 4
that is the
o'clock
very first
game.
one. There's only two 4 o'clock, late window Sunday games, and it is the game just previously what we talked about. It is Seattle and Arizona, and the other one is the Rams and Tampa Bay. They put the Rams in Tampa Bay, even though Tampa Bay is an East Coast team, if you will. They put them at the 4 o'clock slot because this is supposed to be a great game. It is
It was
fucking
supposed
not.
to be. No.
These are the last two Super Bowl winners.
Hopefully there's a soccer game on.
The last two Super Bowl winners. It is the Rams traveling to Tampa Bay. The Rams are 3-4. Dance through another beer. Tampa Bay is 3-5. Tampa Bay is a field goal favorite in this game, -3. The over/under is 42.5. It looks like my scribbles don't look that good. The Rams come off their home loss against San Francisco. They can't figure out San Francisco in the regular season. I mean, both these teams have like crazy offensive line problems.
Yeah. And neither one of them can run the ball.
This is crazy, though. These are the last two Super Bowl winners, and this is like the elimination bowl. Like, you're
Yeah.
fucking dead if you lose this game between one of these teams. I don't know. Rams, I mean, it's not happening for them right now on offense, and then largely it's the offensive line. Dan doesn't like Stafford, but he hasn't had much time to throw the ball. They're a mess. Cam Akers doesn't want to play for them. They got this stable of running backs. Like, nothing's going good on offense. I haven't seen, and I didn't want to mention his name, but number 99 for that team that Dan dislikes
Yeah.
so much, but I haven't
This
heard much
this
of
should
him
be a second game this
year. I haven't heard much of him this year.
No,
and Tampa Bay,
non-existent.
they're off some rest. I want to say that was Thursday night where they lost at home against Baltimore. Baltimore took control of the game late. I mean, nothing's going right for Tampa Bay either. I mean, is it Todd Bowles? What's the problem here? Is it Father Time with Tom Brady? What is it?
I think it's a hodgepodge of all the things you said. I mean, the divorce is an issue. I mean, anytime you have a personal tragedy, and I'll call it a tragedy, that affects
It weighs on you.
I
It
mean,
certainly
hell
weighs
yeah.
on you.
I mean,
Yeah, it
you're
distracts
doing
you
other
from,
shit,
you know,
and, I mean,
yeah, you're worried about your kids. You're worried
Yeah,
about this. You're worried about that. You're not in a
come
good mood. Maybe it's showing on the football field for Tom Brady.
It is. There's no doubt about it. I like the weapons,
I like the weapons on
receivers,
both teams.
and Brady better than the Rams' weapons.
I mean, the Rams have Cup and
He's
Allen
been
Robinson,
nursing an injury.
and Tyler Higbee. You know, Buccaneers have Evans, Godwin, Fournette. You know, running the ball. Tampa Bay -3. You like the Bucks?
I'm taking the Bucks at home.
Cannon Fire, I'm with him. Cannon Fire, -3. I like him at home as well. This game very well could be a push, if you will. But I'm on the Buccaneers -3 as well. We are on the Sunday Night Football. The logo hasn't changed, which means we're way under the number, you know, the time number this week. It had switched off like halfway through, you know, the slate last week. We're on the Sunday Night Football. It is the Tennessee Titans taking their 5-2 record to Kansas City to Arrowhead to play the Chiefs. The Chiefs are also 5-2. The Chiefs are a really big favorite in this game. 12.5-point favorites in this game.
Jeez.
The over/under is 46.5. Tennessee last week, they won in Houston without Ryan Tannehill. I think Tannehill's going to be back. I'm almost positive.
He's
Tannehill's
struggling,
gonna be
but
back.
he's going to be back.
I mean, it's all about Derrick Henry with that football
Derrick
team.
Henry,
I mean,
gonna
Houston
stop
knew
the
Derrick Henry
run.
was going to run the ball, and he just still successfully ran the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, it all comes down to, is Kansas City able to stop Derrick Henry from running the ball and them controlling the clock and keeping Mahomes and company off the field? That's the whole key to the game.
And the line is huge. And
It's a
Kansas
monster
City,
line.
I'm taking Tennessee on this one because Kansas City doesn't cover. They're not going to cover 12.5. Get out of here.
I mean, they have the offense to do it, certainly.
They do, but they don't. They don't cover. Even last year.
They're well rested. They come up by.
I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, they're a really good offense. I mean, if they get a lead, look out. But if Tennessee can control the clock and run successfully, I think the number's too big too.
I'm-
I try to talk myself into Kansas City.
I'm
I'm
not
not
a
going to do it.
Spagnuolo fan.
Who's he coach for?
Defensive coordinator for the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
We like Vrabel.
like Vrabel.
We like Vrabel.
Taking Tennessee. 12.5 is too big for me.
I think Kansas City certainly wins this football game. I like it to get under the number on Sunday Night Football as well. Monday Night Football, we're on to it already. It is
Friggin' Ratbirds.
it is the Ratbirds, the Baltimore Ravens, traveling to New Orleans. Baltimore's 3-point favorite in this game. The over/under is 48. Baltimore is 5-3. The New Orleans Saints are 3-5. Baltimore comes off of their Thursday night win against Tampa Bay. We just talked about it.
How do they get a Thursday night game and a Monday night game?
That's like a mini bye they get. Dude, by the way, you know, like certain players on the trade deadline got traded or whatever? Like Robert Quinn this year, the Bears hadn't had their bye. He got traded to, who did he get traded to? Who did the Bears trade Robert Quinn to?
I don't remember.
I can't believe it's escaping me right now. With that being said, they have already had their bye. Robert Quinn has to play 18 games this year.
Well, good for him.
I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of games.
He's getting paid enough money.
Yeah, he certainly, Philadelphia he got traded to.
Yes.
Sorry, I can't believe that escaped me for a second. Baltimore, they come off of their Thursday night win against Tampa Bay. But here's the thing, and it didn't look good. And we're like, why aren't they running the ball? Why aren't they running the ball against Tampa? You know, type of thing. 'Cause
Right.
that's what they do, right? They were throwing the ball a lot, right? And John Harbaugh came out after the game and said, I know you guys don't like what we did. It was the plan. We were going to spread them out. We were going to throw the ball, tire them out. And in the second half, we were going to run the fucking ball down their throat. And they did it. I mean, they dominated the second half. I mean, it's kind of a risky game plan to start with something that you're not accustomed to doing or not your strong suit. But if that's true, I mean, that's pretty good balls and pretty good coaching. And
Or
it
was
came
that
to
just
fruition.
making a comment after the game?
I don't know, man.
After
Maybe,
you
maybe,
played.
maybe.
Come on.
New Orleans Saints, we talked about
There's
their
PR people there.
We talked about the New Orleans
Because he's a Harbaugh. He didn't want to look like a dumbass. Like, you know, the one at Michigan.
His brother Jim, who's had success in the National Football League as well, and is having success at Michigan now.
Was he the one running away from the fight in the tunnel that I saw in video?
Maybe.
Or
That was
somebody
ugly.
else?
That was ugly. I mean, you guys got to change this. I know these stadiums in college are pretty old. You cannot have one tunnel for both teams. It's too emotional of a game. That was an ugly scene. But anyway, we're not talking about that right now. I think the viewers, listeners know what we're talking about.
You can't have one team talking shit and then can't back it up, and you get your ass kicked, and now you're crying.
There's one dude and like 8 Michigan State
Hey.
players like beating him down. Like, it's not fucking
And
cool.
you just think that they all of a sudden were like, we're going to beat your ass because you're one person by yourself?
Well, it's a lot easier when you got 6 other dudes behind you.
You don't
To start talking
You don't
shit.
think he was running his mouth?
The Michigan player?
Yes.
1 on 8? I fucking would hope not. I mean, sometimes you got to know when to hold them and
Yeah.
know when to fucking fold them.
Well, okay.
You're supposed to fucking fold them when it's 1 against
You're
8.
educated and know that.
Kenny Rogers.
Yeah.
Everybody loves the gambler.
Walk
Anyway.
your ass into the locker room and don't say a fucking word.
We're off target, and I got to go pee soon, so we got to get through this. New Orleans, they're at home in this Monday Night Football game. It was supposed to be a great game. I don't know. Maybe it will be a great game.
Who the hell's the quarterback in New Orleans?
Dalton.
No.
I mean,
Dalton?
Jameis is healthy, but Dalton's the quarterback.
Dalton's playing the
They've been
Ratbirds.
playing
Man,
better.
I'll tell you what, the DBs.
They shut out the Raiders. They shut them out.
The
0.
DBs don't play good for Baltimore. So if they could throw, is Michael Thomas playing? Is he still in the league?
He is. I don't know about playing. He's been ouchy for sure.
He's been ouchy for like 3 freaking years.
Look, and this is a bad division. I mean, this is Carolina.
suck.
This is Atlanta. This is Tampa. This is New
I gotta
Orleans.
go with the Ratbirds.
Not
Pains
me.
to
No
say
way.
it.
I like New Orleans to win this game outright. Play them on the money line.
Seriously?
I like New Orleans to win this game on Monday night in front of a, they're right there in this division. Right there.
Mudbutt might have to.
I mean,
you know,
Atlanta
he
has
might have to go get a change of shorts in the halftime.
the lead at 4-4. We both picked the Chargers to win that game in Atlanta. They lose that game. New Orleans is playing for first place on Monday night against Baltimore. I like New Orleans a lot in this game. I think they're going to win the game, actually. We had
All
quite
right,
a
I'm
few-
changing to New
What a
Orleans 'cause I
pussy,
can't
really?
stand the Mudbutt. I can't stand Ravens.
We don't have very many different this week, so hopefully
Screw 'em.
we're celebrating a lot again. I'm happy about this show being considerably shorter than it was last week. And part of the reason is that there's a lot of buys. There's 6 teams on buys. That includes Cleveland, Dallas, Denver, the Giants, Pittsburgh, and the San Francisco 49ers. We are on the best bets for the week called the Elephant Picks on our show.
The first team is good. The rest of the 4 on bye can be relegated.
I did mention Cleveland first. But yeah, we only have 13 games this week, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 13 games this week. Full slate would be 16 games, but there are 6 teams on bye. Time for best bets. I'm going to go first. I'm going to take the Patriots at home, giving 5 to the Indianapolis Colts.
That's the one I was going to take.
You on it?
Yeah.
Ride with me, Dan. I'm hot. 6-2 on the year.
Either that or Minnesota.
Dan's running hot. He's got 2 in a row right.
I'm going with New England now.
Woo! We better get this right. I mean, 7-2. I can't wait until next week. Speaking of, we're not done here. I tell you what. Last Saturday was pretty lackluster in regards to college football. Not this week.
terrible.
We got a great fucking week of college football coming your way.
That's the only game you have on here.
I know. I only put one on here. It is the number 1 per the new college football rankings, the ones that really count when it comes down to it. The newly minted number 1 ranked team in the nation, the Tennessee Volunteers, travel to Athens to play the Georgia Bulldogs. There's no way you can't put this game on the board. Georgia surprisingly checked in at 3. I thought they'd be 2. That is the Ohio State Buckeyes at 2. I'm sure that chaps my brother-in-law Teddy, but fuck him. Go Bucks. Georgia, they're 8-point favorites in this game at home. This game, by the way, is 3:30 on CBS. And I mentioned how great the slate is. That's kind of the kickoff to things. Alabama, they go play 10th ranked LSU. Clemson comes to Dan and I's Notre Dame football team. They're
Number 4 Clemson.
Number 4 Clemson. I want to say they're field goal and a half favorites in South Bend. I mean, we got a great weekend of college football coming up. I can't wait to watch it. Tennessee, like I said, they're 8-point dogs going to Athens to play the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia Bulldogs defense took a hit this week with their stud linebacker, Nolan Smith, who went out for the season with a pec injury.
Yeah.
But let's talk about last week. Tennessee absolutely dominated Kentucky, and Georgia did the same against Florida in the greatest outdoor cocktail party. It's played at a neutral site in Jacksonville. They dominated the game. And there was at one point in time where I guess Florida got within a score, but it really wasn't that close. Both these teams have really dominated their competition lately. Georgia -8 over under 66, a whopping number. What do we think, Dan?
Well, I think the committee did this wrong. Georgia should be higher than Tennessee. Going into this game, it's...
You think Georgia should be 1?
Yes.
Who's 2?
Tennessee,
Where's Ohio State?
3.
All right, fair. I mean,
Clemson should not be 4.
all this
Michigan
stuff
should be 4.
all this stuff doesn't matter terribly much because, I mean, the SEC teams are going to play the SEC teams. I mean, Ohio State's going to play Michigan at some point in time. This is going to happen. This is going to shake out.
Game days down there for this game.
Yes,
Tons
sir.
of pressure on Tennessee. The line is 8. I don't see Tennessee coming out here victorious. I'm going with Georgia on this one. And I think it'll be a close game. 8's a hard number. I think Georgia wins it, but it may not be 8. But
Are you on Georgia or Tennessee?
I'm
It sounded like you were on
wavering.
Georgia, and now it sounds like you're on Tennessee. Who are you on?
Tennessee.
Rocky Top, I'm with him. I think this is going to be a great football game. I think it's going to
I'm
come down last
addicted to
possession.
color orange.
I tell you what, Hendon Hooker, I think, is probably the Heisman front runner right now. They look really freaking good. They have a ton of momentum. I mean, Georgia's a proven commodity over the last few years. I can't wait to watch this game. I got to talk to Teddy, see what he's making. I'm sure he's prepared. He knows exactly what he's going to have on his smoker and what he's going to have for drinks. He's going to be fired up. I can't wait to talk to him about that. I mean, Grant's down there, my other brother-in-law. He loves the Georgia Bulldogs. They wolf at my brother-in-law, Billy, who's a Florida Gator guy, graduate from there. So that's going to be a ton of fun. I can't wait to watch the
Shit over.
I can't wait to watch the Notre Dame Clemson game following it. I'm sure we'll have lots of drinks. That's it for this week. As far as the outro goes, listen, next Tuesday's voting day. Educate yourselves. Go vote. Dan has nothing on sure, although he's showing it. Or don't bitch. Educate
wait.
yourself. Go out and vote. Rock the vote. Oh, there we go. He's got his let's go, Brandon. But seriously, educate yourself. Go out, vote. Otherwise, you don't have a right to bitch. Go do it. Thank you for watching. thank you for listening. We greatly appreciate it. We'll do it again next week. Dan and I did it in under an hour this week. All right. Thanks so much.